guys, and welcome back to another karting video. And already, as you can see by this absolute weapon that I have just sat in, that this video is slightly different to what you have seen on the channel. We're down here at Paul Fletcher International, also known as PFI, to test out the 70-mile-an-hour twin-engine ProKart. And if you do like what you see and you fancy a go in one of these karts, then make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I'll explain a bit about the day, the prices of the types of packages that they offer, and also the contact details of the guy that you need to speak to book yourself onto one of these days. But I just thought I'd put this video together, a bit of a review of the day, and if you are looking at doing something like this yourself, then how to best optimize your time when you are there as well. So if you are a driver that typically goes to places such as Team Sport or your local independent kart track with the 35-40 mile an hour biz karts, then I would see this as being your next kind of step up and your next natural progression. If you're looking at something a little bit quicker and a little bit more exhilarating than those karts, then this is definitely the way that you want to go and what you want to be looking at in terms of making that next step. So let's talk a little bit about these karts, because they are quite a bit different than what you would be used to at places such as Team Sport. As you can see, it is completely open wheeled, there's no bumpers around the karts. And as you can see, also on the steering wheel that we have a driver display, so we had it on settings that would show your previous lap time and also the speedometer that is on the bottom of the screen. And down the back straight, or the home straight of the circuit, it was hitting about 105, 106 with a good exit, that is kilometers per hour, so about 65 to 70 miles an hour down that home straight. It was also immediately apparent of the handling and the front end grip that the kart had as well, along with the more softer compound tyre than what you'd be used to at your local kart tracks or your Team Sport tracks. So the overall handling was just a lot better, along with the crazy speed and acceleration that these karts have. And it was quite surprising how well the karts coped with the high curbs and the aggressive rumble strips on the outside of the track. So it was quite surprising to see how soft the karts actually handled those, and it was not as uncomfortable as I initially first thought that there would be, given the height of those, so you could really start attacking them a bit later on when we had the confidence to do so. But what you're watching now is the first session of the day, so just trying to learn the track, learn how this kart handles, so taking it fairly steady. And you'll see at the driver display in the centre of the screen there, the previous lap was a 1:14, so absolutely nowhere near the pace, but as I say, this is something that we'll build upon throughout the day. And Josh, who runs ProKart, was saying if we can get to the 106s by the end of the day, then that would be a pretty nice lap, considering we're very new to the track and this type of kart. But coming round here, the hairpin, we're coming up to the second left-hand hairpin, and you'll see here, just trying to edge my braking point a little bit too far, and that was our first incident of the day there. So nothing too bad, but yeah, just trying to edge my braking point closer and closer to the corner throughout the session, and just try and find the limit of that. But yeah, maybe a little bit early I was trying to do that there, and too late into the corner, and a little bit hot into there. But as you can see, as we build up, this is the same session, so we was doing half-an-hour stints, and this is coming to the latter half of the first session. You can see the driver display 109.8, so definitely building up some more confidence, but still don't have the confidence to take that first chicane that you've just seen there flat. But you can see around here getting a lot more confidence, a lot more speed carrying around here, taking a bit more curve there, getting the apex there, but not using all of the track as yet on, or pushing it out far to those rumble strips. But just trying to spot my braking points here a little bit better, clipping the apex nicely, little correction there of oversteer. But we've got somebody ahead of us now that we really want to try and use as a bit of a benchmark. I believe they did know the track a lot better than, or they had been here before at least, so I wanted to use this guy ahead as a bit of a benchmark and see how quickly we could catch up to him, and then potentially follow some of his lines as well. And this was a really tricky corner here, very, very long right-hander, but this is then such an important corner because you're then flat out all the way down up until that long left-hander at the bottom of this Herm straight that you'll see shortly. But you see, actually done that quite well compared to the driver ahead. So you can see on the driver display now at a 108.8, so definitely picking up some pace. And as I said earlier, if we can get into a 106 by the end of the day, that was going to be considered a pretty nice lap in these conditions, and somebody a fairly new driver to this track and these karts. Now that we was in a 108.6, I was pretty happy with that for the first session of the day. But we are going to now head into the pits and do a driver swap, so that'll give me a bit of a chance for a rest, and then also talk to the ProKart guys, Josh and Seb, pick up some tips, see where we could improve our lap, and then see if we can get into these 106s. So let's get into that now. So here we are getting ready for our third session of the day. So we're doing 30-minute stints. So we have been on the track or driving time now for roughly about an hour. So this will be taking us up to an hour and 30 minutes. The previous session, which you haven't seen, was getting down to the 107s, so this is the session where we can get into the 106s, and we're coming onto a flying lap now, and as you can see on the driver display, we have managed to do that, a 106.9, so we are into the 106s now. But this is, you can just see how much speed I'm carrying now, got a lot more confidence in the car, understanding the car a lot more, and getting tips from Josh and Seb at ProKart. We are now using all of this track here, and you'll be able to notice how smooth my driving is compared to the first couple of minutes of this video, which just looks quite erratic when looking at it compared to this clip here. But as we come around now, a little correction here, but you can see really using all this rumble strip now, and as we come around to start the new lap, I'm going to let this run, I'm going to shut up for a bit and let you watch my best lap of the day. Enjoy. So as you can see on the driver display, we managed to get into a 106.8, which was my best lap of the day. So I was pretty happy with that, but definitely need to go back and see if we can get into those 105s. But as promised at the start of the video, here are the prices for the test days. So an hour would cost you £120, 3 hours for £250, or a full day, which is 10 till 4 for £450, and these are correct as of April 2022. But what you can do, and what we did, was we shared a kart between two drivers for the full day, so effectively it became half price for us. And I'd highly recommend this to any drivers that are really getting into karting. Let's say if you typically go to Team Sport or your local kart tracks, it's an absolutely fantastic day, really chilled. I've got to say, Josh, who runs the company, and Seb, who was there as well, it was just so relaxed. You have an open pit, so you can go out whenever you want, and the only thing that you do have to be conscious of is that you do have to pay for any damage that happens to the karts, but I believe that is the typical etiquette with these sort of test days anyway, so just be conscious of that. But a definite 5 out of 5 from me, and a definite must try, and just a fantastic day in general. And also the customer service from Josh and the team there was absolutely fantastic, along with all of the hints and tips that they provided throughout the day to help us knock seconds off the lap time. But here is Josh's Instagram account, so make sure you go and follow him over there and drop him a message and book yourself onto this test day. And while you're there, you may as well follow me as well, my Instagram account being @MattWildboar. And also, if you've liked this video, then please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. But for now, I shall catch you in the next one. Bye.